The Bermuda Triangle, or the Devil's Triangle, is the name given to the area in the Atlantic Ocean, specifically in the region of the Sargasso Sea. Its boundaries are considered to be Miami, San Juan, Puerto Rico, and the Bermuda Islands. This zone is associated with mysterious events and has been the subject of endless debates among scientists. Before we delve into the mysteries of the Bermuda Triangle, please subscribe to our channel. Click on the bell icon to not miss our new videos. Let's get started. In reality, the Bermuda Triangle has never been officially marked on geographical maps, and its boundaries are arbitrary, although proponents of mysterious incidents in this area can confidently outline its contours. The total area of the zone is approximately 1,300,000 square kilometers. In the area of the mystical Bermuda Triangle, you can find the deepest trench in the Atlantic Ocean, the Puerto Rico Trench, with a depth of 8,376 meters. This underwater anomaly is also known as the Milwaukee Depth, named after the U.S. Navy cruiser. Operators of a search ship discovered this trench in 1939. In the winter of 2018, millionaire and adventurer Victor Lance Vescovo decided to descend into this underwater abyss using a specialized vehicle capable of operating at very great depths. The Puerto Rico Trench itself represents a rift in the Earth's lithospheric plates. Its underwater canyon stretches from Cuba to the Greater Antilles, covering a distance of about 800 kilometers. Due to the movement of certain areas of the Earth's crust, earthquakes periodically occur in this area. The most powerful and devastating earthquake occurred in 2010, which destroyed cities on the island of Haiti. To this day, pilots and sailors experience fear when they find themselves in the Bermuda Triangle. But what exactly scares them? We invite you to subscribe to our channel and explore together what happens in this mysterious triangle. This triangle is shrouded in mysterious disappearances of ships and aircraft. There are numerous hypotheses that suggest unexplained atmospheric phenomena in the skies that can destroy planes, while huge waves and whirlpools suddenly appear at sea, dragging vessels to the ocean's depths. Some believe it's the work of extraterrestrials who have settled in this area, while others think it's the inhabitants of Atlantis who abduct people in ships. The whole story began in 1492 when Christopher Columbus entered an unusual sea with no shores. Later, this sea was named the Sargasso Sea. The ocean itself was covered with algae resembling reeds, and bubbles were seen on them like grapes. In this area, Spanish sailors were the first in history to venture into the Bermuda Triangle. Once, one of the crew members noticed a faint shimmering light on the horizon. The entire crew, along with Columbus, went on deck to see this light. Even in the expedition plan found in the ship's logbook, there was a mention of this light, as if it resembled the glow of an altar candle, which first rises and then descends. Thus, the very first unusual events in the Bermuda Triangle were recorded. Of course, there is a possibility that ships sailed in the waters of the Sargasso Sea long before. Greek authors describe the sea route of Hanno, who in the 6th century BCE sailed across the Atlantic from Gibraltar to the British Isles. The traveler described those same algae with bubbles, and mentioned that these waters were inhabited by terrifying sea creatures. In the 12th century, the Arab geographer Muhammad al-Idrisi also mentioned a dangerous area of the ocean located west of the Iberian Peninsula. This area was discovered by a ship belonging to Emir Ahmad ibn Umar in the 930s. The emir was also wary of mysterious algae and warned sailors that these very algae entangled the ship and hindered its navigation. Within the territory of the Sargasso Sea lie the Bermuda Islands, which were not discovered by Columbus. These islands were named after their first discoverer, Spanish navigator Juan de Bermudez. He landed on them on his way to the New World in 1505. These remote islands were desolate and uninhabited, with only animals and birds as their inhabitants. There was a vast distance between the islands and populated areas, 1,035 kilometers to North America and 1,537 kilometers to the island of Puerto Rico. The Bermuda Archipelago consists of approximately 170 coral islands that have emerged on the tops of ancient underwater volcanoes. The archipelago itself covers a small area, only 53.3 square kilometers. The very first recorded shipwreck case that we know of occurred near the Bermuda Islands in 1543. The Portuguese maritime crew decided to commemorate this tragedy with an inscription on one of the coastal cliffs. This inscription has been preserved to this day. Tropical hurricanes are not uncommon for this region. Because of them, dozens of sailing ships were wrecked in the waters of the Bermuda Reefs. Surviving sailors spoke of the terrifying screams heard every night in the sky above the islands and the eerie footsteps coming from the forested areas. Most likely, these were the sounds of endemic Bermuda petrels, which produce unique sounds, and the movement of wild boars, which populate Bermuda in large numbers. However, those crew members who survived the shipwreck firmly believed that these were the spirits of those who perished in the waters near the Bermuda Islands. One navigator even claimed to have heard familiar voices of the crew members who did not survive. Since then, the Bermuda Islands were declared a cursed place, and superstitious sailors even marked them on maps as the Islands of Demons. An interesting fact: the settlement of the uninhabited Bermuda Islands is closely linked to shipwrecks. In 1609, the English passenger ship Sea Venture ran aground on the reefs. On board the ship were families of colonists who were being sent to North America. Many of them managed to survive the shipwreck and make their way to the islands, where they decided to stay and develop. The moment of Sea Venture's shipwreck is depicted on the coat of arms of the Bermuda Islands. The coat of arms is accompanied by the motto, "Whither the fates carry us." This shipwreck also found its way into world literature and inspired English playwright William Shakespeare to create the play The Tempest. Perhaps one of the most mysterious incidents in the Bermuda Triangle Zone is the story of the merchant brig Mary Celeste. This vessel left the port of New York with a crew of 10 sailors and was bound for Italy. Their journey began on November 7, 1872. In early winter, one of the lookouts aboard the DEI Gratia spotted the lone Mary Celeste in the vicinity of the Azores Islands. There was not a single crew member on board, and the lifeboat was missing. An examination of the ship revealed the ship's logbook, with the last entry made on November 25th, indicating that the ship had encountered a storm. The abandoned ship was brought to the port of Gibraltar, where an inquiry into the incident was conducted. During the investigation, it was discovered that all the cargo and personal belongings of the crew were in their places, and there were no signs of struggle or damage on the ship. Therefore, the theory of a pirate attack on the vessel was not confirmed. Unfortunately, the fate of the crew members and the reasons why people had to abandon an entirely intact ship could not be determined. 2 years later, English novelist Arthur Conan Doyle wrote a novella titled J. Habakkuk Jephson's Statement, which told a fictional story of the mysterious disappearance of a ship's crew. This work by the famous writer drew a lot of attention to the Bermuda Triangle, but the interest that arose quickly waned. Even the tragedy in the Bermuda Triangle involving the ship Atlanta with Royal Naval Academy cadets did not reignite people's interest in the anomalous zone. It only elicited sympathy from the British. The shipwreck occurred in 1880, and experts speculated that stormy waves were the cause of the tragedy. A new wave of rumors began in the latter half of the 20th century, after strange incidents occurred in the Bermuda Triangle. One of the most unprecedented was the disappearance of an entire squadron of Grumman Avengers bombers, which took off from Florida in December 1945 for a training flight over the ocean. Shortly after, the pilots reported a thick fog that enveloped the entire sky. From the conversations between the group and the pilots, it can be inferred that sudden malfunctions in the navigation instruments occurred, causing the pilots to lose their bearings. The plane that was sent to search for the missing Grumman Avenger squadron also disappeared from radar, even though it was capable of landing even in case of malfunctions. Subsequently, more than a dozen U.S. Coast Guard ships participated in the rescue operation, but no traces of a shipwreck were found. The first advocates of mysterious and fantastical theories about the disappearance of ships and planes were American writers Richard Weiner, John Wesley Spencer, Charles Berlitz, and some other personalities who wrote about paranormal theories. Their books with sensational titles about the Devil's Triangle spread worldwide in the 1970s, with millions of publications in 45 languages. Experts have repeatedly tried to dispel all myths and provide reasonable explanations for the disappearances of ships and planes in this region, which is known for its tropical storms and dangerous coastal reefs. But they have not been able to satisfy the public with this. Even to this day, rumors of unknown ship disappearances, shrouded in mystique and anomalous events, provide fodder for novelists, playwrights, screenwriters of science fiction movies, and even video game developers. Interestingly, most experienced sailors claim that the greater danger to navigation lies in the same Drake Passage, known for its hurricane-force winds, massive waves, giant floating icebergs, and unpredictable currents. Maritime experts confidently assert that the Bermuda Triangle doesn't even make it into the top 10 of the world's most dangerous maritime regions. So what really happens in the Bermuda Triangle? Is it truly an anomalous place? Scientists have been interested in this question for a long time and still are. Many of them, as skeptics, have come to the conclusion that ordinary natural phenomena are to blame for all the mysterious disasters. In the Bermuda Triangle zone, hurricanes and storms are often encountered, and as we know, they can be the cause of all calamities. Additionally, this area experiences magnetic anomalies that can disrupt navigation instruments, causing both sailors and pilots to lose their course. Another potential factor in these catastrophes is the Gulf Stream, or the Florida Current, driven by thermohaline circulation, with a maximum surface speed of about 2 m/s. In our modern era, dozens of passenger planes fly through the Bermuda Triangle, and they are easily tracked, with none of them vanishing without a trace. According to statistics, people have greatly exaggerated the danger of the Bermuda Triangle. Taking into account the intensity of maritime traffic in this area, the number of accidents is not significantly higher than in other regions of the world ocean. The Bermuda Triangle is famous not only for its mystical mysteries and the disappearances of ships and planes, but also for the material objects hidden in its waters. Tropical islands in their reefs conceal the sunken remains of ships that have gone down in this area over the last 500 years. Among them are a large number of ancient vessels that transported gold and silver. In the winter of 1715, one Spanish fleet was carrying gold ingots, 14 million coins, and chocolate with spices. It encountered a hurricane off the coast of Florida and sank. The investigation reported that about 2,000 sailors perished in this catastrophe. Those sailors fortunate enough to survive, along with the captain of the ship, Santissima Trinidad, managed to bring some of the chests of gold ashore. They sent a messenger to the nearest settlement for help. However, the information about the sailors reached a pirate named Henry Jennings, whose ships often sailed in the Bermuda Triangle zone. He and his crew attacked the survivors' camp and stole all the gold, but the reef concealed tons of gold bars within its labyrinth. Parts of the ship, Santissima Trinidad, and most of the other vessels, carrying treasures and precious items, still lie at the ocean's bottom and remain an intriguing target for treasure hunters. In the summer of 1733, 22 sailboats set sail from Havana carrying silver coins. On the second day, a storm overtook one of the ships and drove it onto the reefs. All the ships were wrecked on the rocks and sank to the bottom. One of the identified ships was the 287-ton San Pedro, which lay at a depth of 6 meters off the coast of Florida Keys. Closer to the shore, remnants of ships from different eras were also discovered. These sites have been added to the Registry of Historical Places in the United States. Since 1989, underwater archaeological reserves have been discovered and made accessible to scuba divers in the waters of South Florida. Diving to specific depths and exploring shipwrecks overgrown with corals, as well as bronze cannons and cast iron anchors located on the seabed, is legally permitted there. During storms, even today, waves can wash up various old gold coins and artifacts left behind by shipwrecks onto the resort beaches of Florida. Collectors offer a significant reward for those lucky enough to find valuable items. In 2001, a lobster fishing vessel, equipped with sonar, detected an unusual formation on the ocean floor near the western coast of Cuba. The instruments on the ship displayed a clear image resembling the layout of city blocks, located at a depth of about 700 meters and covering an area of 200 hectares. A scientific expedition decided to visit this location and, using special instruments and remotely operated underwater vehicles with video recording equipment, captured images that showed stone structures resembling the walls of round towers and pyramids made of finely hewn granite blocks. Images from the study of this underwater object were published in National Geographic magazine and became a worldwide sensation. In the autumn of 1968, a group of divers arrived in the Bermuda Triangle zone, specifically off the western coast of North Bimini Island. Divers descended to various depths, and at a depth of 5.5 meters, they discovered an unusual formation that closely resembled a man-made road paved with stone tiles. This road can be traced for about 800 meters, after which it disappears into coral reefs. Two more slabs, approximately 60 meters long, were found near the shore. These findings were named the Bimini Road. Today, this location is one of the most popular diving sites in the world. Limestone slabs with embedded shells were sent to the University of Miami for analysis using modern uranium-thorium dating methods. Specialists were able to estimate the approximate age of this underwater road, which turned out to be 14,500 to 15,000 years old. However, a significant portion of archaeologists still disputes this dating. Scientists believe that the Bimini Road is a natural formation. They posit that it was created as a result of underground tremors that fractured the sedimentary rock of the ocean floor, leading to the formation of wide, flat slabs. However, there are scientists and researchers who argue the opposite. They consider the Bimini Road to be a structure built by an ancient, unknown civilization that was submerged by the ocean. For them, the road is connected to the mythical Atlantis. During ocean floor exploration in the Bermuda Triangle zone, scientists have discovered several remarkable phenomena. One of them is the presence of blue holes. In the southern part of the triangle near the Bahamas, there is an understudied area with many unresolved mysteries. Tourists visit these islands every year, unaware that the islands are surrounded by shallow waters and sandbanks of varying depths. The seawater above them is so clear and transparent that even from an airplane, the ocean floor can be easily seen. This is where the blue holes are located, huge pits on the ocean floor. Researchers have only studied 20% of the total number of abysses to date. However, scientists claim that during strong currents, these holes are capable of dragging a ship down with them. This contributes to the theory of where ships might have disappeared during expeditions. One of the intriguing discoveries made by researchers on the ocean floor is a strange infrasound. Interestingly, humans cannot perceive it themselves, but it affects the auditory system. Another mystery is the release of methane in large quantities. Methane is a gas that reduces the density of water, causing large ships to sink rapidly. The release of this gas into the air disrupts the operation of aircraft engines, hindering their lift. Another astonishing discovery in the Bermuda Triangle zone is the presence of giant pyramids on the ocean floor. During research, scientists determined that these pyramids are several times larger than the famous Egyptian pyramids. In 2012, new pyramids and ruins of an ancient civilization were found. Some specialists believe that this could be the real Atlantis. We wanted to share these amazing facts about the Bermuda Triangle with you. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'd appreciate your comments on this topic. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.